welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. Am, of course, your host, CQ. Very excited. Very, very, very excited for tonight's guest. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. My guest tonight is an incredibly talented voice actor. He's best known for voicing Rockstar Foxy, Funtime Foxy, and Mr. Hippo in Five Nights at Freddy's. He's also voiced characters on several animated series, most notably Radar the Monkey on NBC's Astroblast, the narrator of the Fruit Ninja series, and most of the characters in DreamWorksTV's Extreme Craft Stick Mayhem. He has also wowed audiences with his voice impersonations of some of Hollywood's biggest names, including Ryan Reynolds, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael J. Fox, and Christian Bale. You can learn more about this amazing man on his website, joegaudet.com. But for now, everyone, please welcome to the show the extraordinary Joe Gaudet. There we go. Just takes a second. There we go. Now
There's my face.
Gotta love live. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
No, not a problem. I appreciate the opportunity to come on. This is awesome.
Awesome. And we're gonna dive into all of it. I wanna get to know you. I want to get to know what you do. I want to get to know all the things about and we've had voiceover actors before. We've had some pretty legendary names like Rob Paulson, Pinky from Pinky and the Brain, and we've had just a litany of great voice actors as well as actors. And so we have such a great appreciation for what it is you do and the complicated nature that can sometimes be misunderstood by people that don't understand the business. So first, right out the gate,
sure.
Let me ask you, what is your connection to the military?
I've seen a lot of military movies, man. A lot of military movies. No, like my grandfather fought in Korea. Both of my uncles on my mom's side were in the Army. My uncles, two cousins, three, like just everybody, Army, Navy, National Guard, so just everybody pretty much except me and a couple other cousins just sat and been like, no, you guys take care of this.
So what's it like playing pretend while we all do real work? No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's just like, I mean, basically, yeah. I mean, I've done military games before and I'm like, oh God, it's 3 hours of yelling. I'm so tired.
I'm going to say the best answer would have been like, well, I voiced this guy in Call of Duty and that's my military experience.
It's nothing. It's nothing like, it's just like, I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I'm not even holding the weapon right. What am I like? I'm just sitting there behind a friggin' mic. Yeah, no, but it's just like, most of my family members have been in the military and I'm just like, I'll protect the home front, boys.
Yeah, right. Some of us have to, cook and get in the kitchen. I mean, some of us have to, take care of the house.
I got to peel some potatoes every now and then. And exactly.
Real quick, I'll just tell you, a lot of people in the audience just saying hi, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Big fans. You got people in the audience that are big fans of the TikToks and
I appreciate that.
So you already got a nice built-in fan base. People loving it.
Excellent.
Although one person went, this isn't Brendan Fraser. We were talking a lot about Brendan Fraser before the break. So sorry.
That's fine. No, that's okay. That's all right.
Guys are funny. So let me tell you something. I pride myself in doing a lot of research on my guests and getting to know them before we even get to sit down. You don't have a Wikipedia page, man.
I guess I don't. I do start one yourself. I
honestly have no idea.
Maybe, I have a website, like I have TikTok, like a social. Yeah, but it's like, if I was going to start what would I do on Wikipedia? Like just update false information about me.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. You blow it up. You pretend you're born on the moon and
yeah, maybe I got to do that.
Owns the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, like whatever. You just make up stuff and you just kind of see what sticks, man. You create a legend, a legacy for yourself,
Yeah, I'm screwed then. I have no imagination with that stuff. I'm way too honest with stuff. They're like, yeah, this guy is you look up your net worth. Sometimes people are like, is this you? And I'm going, who looks up my net worth? I go, it's way off.
Yeah.
Way off. I make way more than that. You know what I mean? No, it's not even close. Joe Gaudet's worth 5.8 million. Where are you looking?
Yeah.
Where are you no.
There's a bank account that we're holding for you. So we'll let you know. Yeah. We'll let you know when it's ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness.
So I know you live in Connecticut now. Were you born and raised there, or where's
No, I was like, I never even went to Connecticut before I moved here. It was like a weird, like, I grew up in the Boston area. I grew up in Melrose, Massachusetts, which is like 10 minutes north of Boston. And every time I go back, accent just it pops right out. I start talking like it's like being a voice actor. I've had to learn a neutral accent so I can talk, pronounce my R's, and be, so people can understand me. Because if I was doing, commercials all the time talking like this, oh, thank you guys for your service in the Army. You don't like it. Just it's
wicked hard, right? It's wicked hard.
It is wicked hard, dude. It's wicked hard, brother. But like. I constantly have to think about it. Like when I'm like in the booth recording and stuff like that, I can do it. But like with the character stuff, that's why I got into character stuff like to begin with than my own voice, because I could pretend to be somebody else. And if I messed up, I didn't mess up. It was the character. So it was like, it was a way to hide behind the accent and stuff like that until I learned how to be like, okay, the money is in being myself with a neutral accent and not the zany characters that, because that's voiceover is most of the work I do. I mean, even from social media, people just think I do impressions and silly stuff for like that sort of. It's probably like 20% of the work I do. About 80% is just all in my voice. So it's like learning how to be myself. It took so long to overcome like being confident as myself. I can do stupid voices all day, but it's more fun to be myself because it feels more freeing. Yeah. I've built up my confidence in that area, over the years. But yeah, it
seems so counterintuitive to say that I'm more comfortable being someone else than being in my own voice. That's such a strange thing.
Yeah, it really is, because it's like, I could do the impressions all day, and that's why it's fun. And I think that's why people on social media enjoy them, because it's like, oh, we really believe he's that person. Because it's like when I'm doing an Arnold voice or a Christian Bale, whatever it is, like I don't see myself, I see them. So then that helps with the mannerisms, and I'm like, I can just disappear into those characters and not worry about myself.
For those that aren't familiar with your work and how your TikTok personality and your crazy impressions, can you give us just one or two just so that people can get a sample of what it's like?
Yeah, I'll do. Everybody likes Arnold. I get DMs all the time. Can you say happy birthday to my mom in Arnold? And they say, listen, first of all, I mean, it is fantastic, right? Thank you for the service in the military. I mean, himself, I was in the Austrian military. I drove the tank, and then they skipped out of town and won the bodybuilding competition. So it was fantastic, right? But it's like fun stuff like that. It's like I'm 5'9", 165 pounds. I'm not going to be a jack bodybuilder, but at least with the voice, I can hide behind that and just pretend.
Oh my God.
So,
I close my eyes for a second and I'm like, it's so good. Like how did you get, like, man, I don't know. I'm jumping ahead here because I'm
an open book.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. Ask away.
I'm blown away by that ability to it's like a chameleon, but with your voice versus,
It's one of those things. Everybody just seems, I bet you could do any, it's not, I couldn't do any, it has to, first of all, it has to interest me. Like my normal speaking voice is like this tone right here. It took me years to be able to drop the voice all the way down, right? Very, very hard, very difficult. So you have to, there's a lot of stuff I'm doing with my throat. It was years and years of exercising, getting my voice deeper, getting it, and then you got to, I'll obsess on watching interviews and clips and just, and I shy away from watching people do impressions, because then you're more, you want to do an impression of an impression. That's why I don't do walking, because everybody does walking and it's an impression of somebody else's. Like I want to match the voice, because that's part of what I do. My job is to go in there, match up. It's like get in, get out. It's kind of like the SEALs, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I get in, I get out. You don't know it was me, and you assume it was Arnold, or you assume it was Ryan Reynolds or Christian Bale or Ice-T or Rami Malek or Jay Barry. It's like I don't go around, I do voices, I'm Mr. When I see my friends and family like out of work, I'm not doing voices. I'm drinking a beer, smoking a stogie, playing golf. Like it's not what people I just saw the flux capacitor behind you.
Hey, way to catch that.
Yeah, that's heavy duty, doc. But like with all that stuff, it's like you're not supposed to know it's me. So it's like it's a job at the end of the day, but it does become obsessive because you're getting paid to just be that person and not have anybody know. Hopefully.
You already got a couple people in the chat saying, I would use this superpower 100% for evil. So,
and it's like, I think I've done it so long. I don't see it as a super. I honestly see it's like I clock in, I clock out. All right, let's take my daughter to dance class. Let's go to gymnastics. Like, my brain doesn't work that way. And I think it's I kind of equate it to like before you knew magic. Like, because I used to do magic all the time and I was a magician for a while. Before I knew it growing up, watching David Blaine, you're like, how the hell does he do that? Then you learn, and then the illusion is blown away. But I love the process of fooling other people with it. But it's not something I use every day. So once I do a voice and I have that superpower, if you want to call it that, I don't see it as like, oh, I'm going to go use this for evil. I don't go to like the drive-through and say, hey, let me get a number 2 because after this, I will call number 2. All right. With Taco Bell. I don't do that. That's just not something I do. It's like, but I've like made prank phone calls like growing up a little bit, like with the Arnold and with the iced tea and stuff like that. But like, I mean, I'm going to be 38 in March, and I'm like, I got 2 kids. My priorities aren't on that. Like, I wish it were, because maybe I'd get more views on social media. But like, I have a hard time with just doing stuff that's obvious, and I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. And that kind of gets tough, because it's like, well, if I did, maybe I'd be further along. But it's just like, at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're finding your niche and not doing it the way that others are going to do it, but what is authentic to you.
Right. If I find it's going to be funny, cool. If I have an idea that just pops in my head, I'm just going to shoot it and post it. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm not going to do a million takes and make it perfect, because life's not perfect. Every once in a while, I'll do a video and I'll really put some effort into it and edit it to make it nice. But I mean, you could put hours into a video and it gets like 4 views. So just put it out into the world,
No, that's it. That's this show.
Yeah.
We do it live, so that way I don't have to edit. Now, obviously, hey, you spotted it, but I'm a huge Back to the Future. Like,
oh, yeah.
That to me, that was the #1 movie growing up. And I can hear, and maybe it's me looking for it, but I can hear certain mannerisms that you have that are very similar to like Michael J. Fox and when he was doing Marty.
I think that's growing up being such a fan of that movie and also wanting to lose my Boston accent too. I look to other actors. How could I talk regularly? And then, I mean, my normal yelling when I get excited, it was always Michael J. Fox. It was like, oh, like, it was always that kind of thing. And then the more you do it, I think it's the more you do something, it just becomes, you're self-conscious. Yeah. Unless I go, okay, listen, I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to drop it in my lower register so nobody hears that. Because then you're self-conscious about that. Because then you don't want to get typecast. Because God forbid I'm doing more on-camera work. They're going to go, now we just see Michael J. Fox with that guy. We just see Ryan Reynolds with that. And I'm constantly trying to change my look or whatever I'm doing, because I know people are looking for it. It's inevitable. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to be that guy go, hi, this is Joe Gaudet. I'm here for the role of President Lincoln. The Emancipation Proclamation. All men are created equal. No, that's not how, you know what I mean? I'm constantly trying to because then you get self-conscious about it. And like you said, the more you do something, the more you hear it. And then I'm like, I can't get rid of that voice. So it's like, well, let's do something completely opposite.
Well, I mean, it's good that you have a job where you get to play with that voice and
that's true. Yeah.
Mess around with it. What was, because we kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but what was your family situation growing up? What was the nucleus? What was that like for you?
Yeah, it was just, my parents both worked, but they were always home by the time we got home. My dad was an electrician. He still is. I have an older sister, an identical twin brother. So we were like, my older sister, she was like 3 years older than us. And then it was the twins. And then my mom and dad, we both worked. We all played sports. We all, went places together. It was just a, normal family growing up,
And I'm curious, what does everyone think about what it is you do when you're like, I'm going to be a voice actor, I'm going to do impressions?
Yeah, it was something I always did. I was always performing. I was always doing school plays. I was always, but it was a weird thing, because it's like I did sports, but I wasn't a jock. I did theater, but I wasn't like a drama geek. A lot of my friends were drama geeks, quote unquote drama. He's going to get canceled because he's a drama geek. Like, he's just like, I was friends with I like fit right in the middle. You had kids, they peaked in high school. You had kids who just, moved away and did great things. But like, I always just knew what I wanted to do. I didn't let anything influence me. So it's like, I wanted to be an actor, and a lot of people were like, nah, that's, you know, why don't you go to college and do so? And I went to college and I dropped out of 2 colleges. And now I'm like, okay, thank God I don't have any more student loans. But it was one of those things. I always knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't care what anybody said. I'm like, I'm going to make it work. And, you know, I made it work. I didn't have to live in LA. I was living in Boston and then Connecticut. And now I work all over the world from this recording studio in my home. It's the greatest thing because I don't have to go anywhere. Yeah. I can take my kids to school and be home. I don't have to be away. I love it. I love it. But I mean, I had a lot of support growing up. I was very lucky.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You know?
So at what point, well, real quick question from Mike in the chats.
All right, Mike.
Do you know Mark Wahlberg or Ben Affleck?
No, but I get, if my hair's short, because I'm growing my hair out for something right now, but like if my hair's like short, everybody's always like Ben Affleck. Like, you look like Ben Affleck. I don't know what it is. I think it's the jawline or whatever, or it was just the Boston accent growing up. I honestly don't know.
50-50.
I don't know them. No, I do not know them.
Yeah, I think that was a smart ass comment, but we'll let that slide. And then from Charles says, I bet you could give telemarketers hell. So ever take that to the telemarketers?
Once or twice, but it's never been like having a long conversation. I would pick up the phone as Arnold. Hello, cutie pie. Hello, sweetheart, is this you? I hear very heavy breathing. No, and then you just, you know, it's never gone into a conversation. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not as cool as people think it is.
Yeah,
because half of the time they're like, "Who is this?" Like you know what I mean? Sounds nothing like him. It sounded nothing. You know what I mean?
It doesn't land the way you would want.
No, it never does. In your head, it never lands the way you want it to land. You know,
if I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder if you could use that to like, I don't know, get a reservation at a fancy restaurant. You know, without.
I've done that. No, I have done that in New York. Like I've done iced tea. It's like, you know, yo, what up, man? Give my boy Joe Gaudet a seat when he comes in, man. He'll take care of the tab. Just, you know, I've done stuff like that. But I've never like taken advantage. I shut a Gucci store down once, as I say. But I called up saying like I was his personal assistant. Could I put him on the phone? Then I was like saying like I was in the Boston area shooting a Law and Order SVU episode, and they were like, "We'll shut it down. We'll come in for a fitting." And then I was like, in the back of my head, I went, "Wait, what if they actually shut the place down like they say they're gonna?" And, you know, somebody comes in on their day off because they want to meet Ice-T and they get into an accident. So like everything was running through my head, and I called up and I emailed, listen, the location scouts said, we're not going to do it in Massachusetts. We're actually going to stick to New York. So like I had to like lie and make, this must have been 12, 13 years ago at least. So I felt so guilty. I'm like, I've never used it for like cool stuff like that, which I should have. But
it sounds like you have a conscience. And
I do. And it's like I'm playing two people, like an idiot. I got like a website and put up a fake email address for this website for this stupid imaginary character I was playing. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, and I'm thinking, I got like, if anybody like saw me doing this, they'd be like, what is wrong with them?
You were honing your craft. You were,
yeah, but it wasn't even for any gain. It was just for my, like, I wasn't recording these things. I wasn't posting them. I was just like, what are you doing, dude? You're going through like these elaborate things just for your own enjoyment. It was the stupidest thing.
So when did, well, you kind of touched on this, that acting was always kind of a part of it, that the voices were always kind of a part of it. So how far back can you recall, you know, saying like at this moment, this is when I knew I really wanted to do this?
It had to have been in like the late 80s. I mean, I was born in 84, and I remember being like 6 or 7 and seeing Back to the Future 3. Like I think it was at like a Leechmere or like a Circuit City, some one of those old school like tech stores where they had a new surround sound for your home. It's only like $50,000. You know what I mean? But they were playing Back to the Future Part 3, the train scene on the thing, and I'm watching. I go, holy crap, that's awesome. And then I knew what Back to the Future was because you've seen it bits and pieces, but not like that. I was too young to see it like in the theaters,
right.
And then watching it, go, that's Back to the. And then watching it more and more and just becoming obsessed with Back to the Future. And I was just like, because you see movies, but then you go, that's what I want to do. Like I clicked them, like they're making a movie, they're playing make-believe, but what do you call that? And I didn't know it was acting. I just knew like, oh, I want to do stuff like that. So then, you know, you slowly do that. Then you see Mrs. Doubtfire, then Aladdin, then Forrest Gump. I mean, I was huge fan of Tom Hanks. So growing up, you're like, how is he doing? Wait, he got a haircut? He lost weight. Now he's running. Like, it was just a weird thing that like, you can do this and make a living. And then, I mean, it wasn't until 2000 and I want to say 2004 where I was like, no, let's start making money at this. Let's start like really starting to, and I didn't have any training. I just was like Google and YouTube and whatever search engines they had back then. And I was just like, all right, fake it till you make it and figure it all out. So I messed up a ton. I made friends with people at recording studios. And after like my regular jobs, I would like take the train and go to the recording studio and watch the engineers work and ask, can I learn some of this stuff? Just what? And then you pick up some stuff and then you clean some stuff for them and take out the trash and maybe they'll help you with the demo. Like it was just, I wanted to make it work. I didn't care how I did it, you know?
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's really before a time when, you know, you could YouTube how to get it into the business, and,
right?
You know,
there wasn't enough information. I knew with the technology changing because you could see like, you know, you can get setups in your home. I'm like, wait, what? And you go to Guitar Center and see all these mics and like 1,000, 3,000, like for those mics. And then I saw like this kit you could get for home, and it was actually like a pro mic. The whole setup, I already had a laptop. It was like $200. I was like, $200? All right, here we go. Hey, can I open up a credit card because I can't afford $200? You know what I mean? So it was one of those deals. And then I'm having my girlfriend at the time. Now she's my wife. I'm like, you want to co-sign this for me? Can you make these? You know, some stupid stuff like that. So then you start investing in yourself and start messing up and work crappy jobs that you hate, and you want to just like blow your brains out some days because you're sitting there going, what am I doing here? You feel like a dog in a cage, and just all that like anxiety just built up until I was like, I got to do something more. So then I started working more and cold calling like recording studios, animation studios, and like slowly but surely you start getting more work, and then you get the 9-to-5 job. And I'm like, all right, listen, yeah, we're out of the studio right now. We're on location. I'm not on location. I'm sitting here at a stupid cubicle crunching numbers in a spreadsheet. We will get that done for you tonight. And then you'd stay up all night working on the project, go to the regular job the next. So you just start lying to people. And like, I felt like I was Zach Morris on a bunch of different dates, like going back and forth. You know what I'm talking about? Going back from work to this until eventually like, this is my day job. This is how much I was making with voiceover. And then it just is like, boom. All right, bye day job. And then I started, you know what I mean? I really started to like hit the ground running, but it took so many years to get to that point because I didn't know what I was doing and there just wasn't enough information available. Yeah. You know,
that is the quintessential fake it till you make it. Right.
Oh yeah.
Just grind until something clicks, until it works.
Right. Exactly.
Damn, that's such an amazing story. And I know you're.
Wouldn't that be funny if it was just all a lie? I'm just like, my dad was rich. He just got me on.
No, I was thinking. See, I was going the other way with it. Like the walls just fall down, and you're like outside, and you're like, oh, what happened? It's like this is all just fake.
Naked dude in the background, like, dude, I'm waiting to take a shower. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's too good. You have the same kind of imagination I have, which is hilarious. So I know you're a dad. You have a son and a daughter. What do you kids think growing up with you having this ability to do that? Like, I imagine bedtime stories have to be epic. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, they are sometimes like I don't go grandiose and go like I'll put a funny voice for a certain character, but I'm at the point where I don't want to take away from. Because like I could read it really fast and act it out. And I do for my son because he's 7. He can read already. So, but my daughter who's 5 or almost 5, she's just learning the basics of. So like as I'm reading, I want her to see the words I'm pointing to because I want her to get it. And I'm like, if I do the silly voices, it might take away. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm in dad mode. I'm not in like everybody watch me. We're dancing. Like it's not the performance that people think. Like I wish I had you as a dad. People say like in the comments all the time, like, no, you don't. You just see me lose my shit. You don't want me. You know what I mean? No, daddy, no, it's not like that. But you know what I mean? You don't. I'm a dad. I'm human. We all lose our shit every now and then. But absolutely. Like, it's one of those things. Like I want my kids to have fun and get it, but I'm not like, I don't perform at home. They don't even, they get what I do, but they're not like, my dad's Mr. Hippo and Five Nights. Nobody gives a shit. Like, you know what I mean? At the end, nobody cares. What I do, it's not, it's a job. I get to do it, in shorts and t-shirt most of the time, but it's like, it's nothing special. It's easy compared to most everything else in this world,
Well, I think because it's so different and it's not the typical, right? I'm not oh my God, I can't even think of a regular job.
Yeah, like an accountant or
an accountant.
An analyst for an insurance company or a waiter or it's like
it's different.
It's very different. And all my buddies break my balls all the time. Like, hey Joe, are you home? Like I have to ask, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Or like, hey, how was you didn't work? Cause a lot of my buddies are firefighters and they're like, how was work today? You didn't do much. I'm like, dude, you sit at the firehouse all day watching reruns of like Golden Girls and stuff. So don't give me any, you know what I mean? It's fun. Yeah. What I do is it's different, but it's not, I'm not curing diseases over here.
But you wouldn't have it any other way, right? This is what you want to be doing.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. I don't want to be micromanaged ever again. Oh,
so you're known for your many voices, Marty McFly or Michael J. Fox, Ryan Reynolds, Jason Statham, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ice-T, all the Five Nights at Freddy's characters.
Yep.
How do you know? I guess I'm trying to piece it together. How do you know when you hear that voice and you go, oh, that's a voice I can do, or that's a voice I want to do? Like, how does that process start?
I have to be a fan. It's a cliche answer to a lot of people who do impressions. If I'm not a fan, like I'm a fan of most people, whether they're, whether like they have different political views or religious views. Like I find everybody interesting, but it's like, I have to just like most of what it is like, it happens by accident. Like the Ryan Reynolds was like totally by accident. I had my buddy, Paul Vlahos, really talented comedian impressionist. He did Ryan Reynolds back in like, I want to say it was like 2009, 2010. And he started talking about Jenga and like, he did like over the top Ryan Reynolds. He's like, well, I want to play Jenga with the Olsen twins and maybe get an STD by, Rosie O'Donnell. Like he would make up random celebrities and intertwine them with different board games. And I went, holy crap, dude, you got something. And I heard something in it that he wasn't hitting. And I went, Ryan Reynolds would be great because he's on his way to becoming A-list. And then you just start talking and realize his voice as well. It's sort of down here. Like, and there's different, levels to his voice, but then you just start to study it. And then it's like, okay, that's the hook. What does he do? And then I did a video on how to do a Ryan Reynolds impression on TikTok and it went crazy viral. And I think it was like how to do a Ryan Reynolds impression. First, lower your voice all the way down like this. Say something like look into the camera, look over there and say, back to the camera. Now product placement, Aviation Gin and Mint Mobile. And then there were like, because I would notice he would talk about Aviation Gin, Mint Mobile.
Right.
He would talk about Hugh Jackman, say something inappropriate under his breath. And I kind of put all that together and he saw it and his team saw it. And they gave me a call one day and they were like, you want to work on something? And I said, yeah, okay. And then, then we shot a video after we wrapped on a project and that went viral on his TikTok. And it was just like, it's fun stuff like that you don't realize how a person acts until you see somebody do it or you see something by accident. And you just, it'll get in your head and you can't stop doing it for a while. I mean, I won't walk down the street and do it, but like you'd be going through the house, like Ice-T was Mr. Rogers. Can you say thank you? There was Mr. McFeely came over and I went, oh no. Like, so it was kind of like that. And then Ice-T is just kind of like, same kind of voice, but like add a lisp and add a little gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, there's a lot of different things that you'll hear and you go, oh wait, okay. All right. I do hear a little Michael J. Fox in that voice, Beetlejuice, Michael Keaton and Christian Bale. Like you watch the way their mouth hits and then you go, okay, there's similar, the similarities to those voices. And then then your brain starts going all over the place. And then, let me write this down to learn this. But I don't go out of my way to learn voices. I don't like wake up and go, I'm going to learn Steve Carell today. It's just not a thing that I do consciously. It just happens, by happy accident.
You almost sound like, like a human mixing board, right? Like, okay, a little bit higher, a little bit lower and start tweaking it.
And that's what it is. And that comes in handy for character work too, because, the Mr. Hippo for the audition, I just made up a voice. And it was like the description was like, you know, he's kind of like that old grandpa everybody knows who tells stories, but he's absent-minded. And I was like, all right, old grandfather. Half the guys I knew in Boston growing up, they all talk like this. What are you doing, dude? How are you? It's good to see you, Joseph. So I started to play with that. You know, I mixed it in between Boston and New York City. And I just kind of like, you know, it's like a mental Rolodex. You take some ingredients, you mix them in. And it really comes in handy for character work because, you know, if the director says, all right, you know, we're thinking of this guy, he's high pitched, maybe some nasal to it, maybe a lisp or what. And then you can just remember those things in your head and just mix it all together. And that's, you know, after 16 years of doing this professionally, it's like, I don't really practice that stuff anymore. Just during the session, if they need me to do something, I can just, you know, they can mold me like a ball of clay.
There you go. Can you make him a little older? He whistles when he talks.
Yeah.
And like
I'm like, you're not going deep enough. That's fine. Just pitch it down in post-production. It's, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm never offended by that. I'm like, as long as you can act and get the performance, they'll fix it. I'm not at the ego. You do not alter my audio. Like when I first started, I'm like, no, I was like a very purist. Just shut up, collect your paycheck and go home. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah. Check clears either way. Check clears.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and you kind of answered the question I was going to ask is that the fact that you do these celebrity impressions, like, I know the Ryan Reynolds video. I mean, that is a super huge viral video, to do that, which it's a hilarious, it's such a quick thing, but it's so hilarious. Have you been able to do your impressions in front of other celebrities?
Yeah, just that Ryan Reynolds thing. Obviously did in front of him, and it was just fun. I'm like, was it good? He's like, you know, and you know, I can't give details on what we did before we shot that video, but that was fun. Christopher Lloyd, my buddy Josh Gates on Expedition, he did Expedition Back to the Future with, you know, Christopher Lloyd. So when they were shooting that, Josh was showing Christopher Lloyd like my impression of him and Michael J. Fox, and he was like, dude, Christopher Lloyd is blown away by your impression. I'm like, get out of town. He's like, no. I was like, can you send me more stuff? So I was sending more stuff. And then after soccer one day, we got home from a soccer game, from my kid's soccer game. My phone goes off and it's Josh FaceTiming me. He's like, hey, buddy. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, somebody here wants to talk to you. And Christopher Lloyd grabs the phone and he just starts like acting like Doc Brown. I was like, it's the Doc. Doc, what's going on, Doc? It was just really cool. And I wasn't even like starstruck. It was just really cool. He just wanted to say hi and tell me how much he really enjoyed the impressions and stuff. It was really cool. Really cool.
That's got to be like a dream come true. I mean, like this is what you've been training for your whole life, doing a Marty impression.
At the same time, it's like I wanted to become an actor because of him, Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. But like when I meet like my heroes, I never get starstruck. It's just like when I met Ryan Reynolds, huge fan of Ryan's, but I'm not obsessed. It's a different thing. I just have a lot of respect and admiration. So it was great to talk with him. It's great to hang out. It's great to see him improv. It was great to learn how he behaves on set, how he rewrites things, how he's just a perfectionist. And that work ethic, I learned so much from that. Just as when I met Christopher Lloyd, I didn't tell him, I became an actor because of you, man. Like, I just was like, big fan. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that stuff. It was really nice to talk to you. You made my day. It was, you know, it was really cool. And, but yeah, I don't get starstruck. It's a weird thing. It's like, it's not that I'm used to being around celebrities because I've rubbed elbows and I have like famous friends, but I'm not like, I love to learn from people. Do you know what I mean? I love to just like, oh, you did this. And I'm not going to do like the whole Chris Farley, like the Chris Farley show. You remember when, you know, it's like, but it's a lot of fun to be around people like that and realize they're just people.
Yeah.
I mean, they make a ton of money, you know what I mean? And they're living the good life, but it's like, they're just regular people like all of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, and I think I had the opportunity to meet Michael J. Fox once, a thing, and growing up, I'm like, this is it. This was the Holy Land, you know. But I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be the guy that drools and stutters.
Well, how many times do you think they hear? But like, it's one of those things. That's a huge deal, though, for you to meet him. You know what I mean? Was it fun? It must have been awesome.
They tell you, oh, never meet your heroes. And this, he was the nicest, most humble guy, and
That's awesome.
There was handlers involved, and they're like,
Yeah,
don't touch him, don't ask for it. I was just like, I just want to say hi, and
yeah.
But he put out his hand. He's like, wanted to shake my hand. So it's
awesome.
like you're just like, oh, damn it, this was a moment.
And you could go home and like always remember it.
Absolutely.
Was awesome. I had that moment. That's
Absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah. So,
so cool.
I love that you're a Back to the Future fan too, because the greatest goddamn movie ever.
Absolutely.
So I've completely lost the rails here. There was a question somebody wanted to ask, because you do the Arnold so well, can you do it in like what is he's Hungarian, right? Isn't he like
he's Austrian? Yeah. I had to do can I speak like Austrian?
Yeah, like do Arnold in Austrian?
I had to do they gave me a dialect coach. I had to do his voice in Austrian for some bodybuilding thing. And it was like I told you I'd be back. So it was like the dialect coach sent me this stuff and they were on like Zoom. Ich hobbox jokes, I'll be back. This in the fountain. Give me them cakes over sofort. Very nice. Fantastic. So like there was a bunch of stuff that I had to say. So I mean, if that answered their question.
That absolutely answers the question.
Absolutely.
To do that, I mean, that's a whole nother level to then like do an accent of a person doing their natural accent, which is not something they're known for. And then I had to do the
Spanish version too as Arnold. That was a weird one.
You can do Spanish Arnold. No way. Like
lo siento, tengo dos palabras para ti, right? Or tres palabras para ti. I'll be back. Yeah, see, like it was very weird. It was really weird. But it was cool because it was all phonetically written. I mean, I can read Spanish. You know, I have half my cousins are all Puerto Rican, and I'm like sitting there going, I don't understand anything you guys are saying, but I love you. You know, so it's like growing up with that. Obviously you have to learn how to read stuff, but like it was very strange. Very strange.
There's like, you know, it's like, oh, you can break the fourth wall. I think you doing Arnold in Spanish breaks like the sixth or seventh wall. I don't know that like my brain can't fathom, and you didn't even go to the obvious of the, you know, hasta la vista, baby. You know, like
I did not even say hasta la vista, baby.
There you go. This
is my fault. This is my fault. I'm very disappointed in myself.
You didn't go for the easy pull, man. You went the hard way. That was awesome. You went the long way around. Man, oh my God, I've lost the rails of my interview just because
That's a great thing. No, I enjoy this. This is great.
So you have the TikTok thing. I was like it's the thing, you know, the TikTok thing.
Yeah, it's really not that special, but yeah.
You're about to hit 1 million followers.
I'm like 9,000 away from a million, which is going to be. But it's like it's one of those things. Everybody else on TikTok is very frustrated right now because it's like I had a video I posted like 5 hours ago, has like 600 views, and I'm going, that's not right. Like I haven't been able to break like 6,000 views on a video in so long, and everybody's like getting frustrated too. And it's not like some ego thing. It's like my followers follow me for this content, and I'm putting it out for them, and they're not even seeing it. I'm like, and I don't make money off of TikTok. I don't make a penny off of TikTok. I do sponsored content. I work with brands because brands I believe in. Sure. You know, I work with Duke Cannon a lot because they support the military. So it's like I do stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that's how you make, you know, money and do partner with people. And that's different though. It's my content is for the followers and fans, and for them not being able to see any of that content is so frustrating.
Yeah, I can. So frustrating. I mean, you are at the end of the day, you're a performer. Right. And so obviously there's the job mechanic of it, and I'm going to get paid to do XYZ. But part of it is it's that theater. I'm getting to perform for my audience. And
exactly.
I get it. I would be the math doesn't make sense. How can you have 1 million followers? You put out a video that everybody wants to see, and it's not viewed,
like just no views. And it's like I said, it's just frustrating. It's like TikTok is like I just post stuff between recording sessions that I have an idea. Let's post this out. Let's do, but at the same time, I think a lot of the followers think that like that's my full-time job, and like if that was my full-time job, I'd be living on the street, like because
that would be a phone booth. It'd be a
literally would be exactly. And people are like, those things exist. Yeah, of course they do. And they do now.
Not anymore. Now they're all recording studios.
Why does it smell like urine? It smells like urine in here. That's what this is.
Yeah, you have so many people just absolutely losing it in the comments, laughing. And one guy said, "I spit out my drink" when he did the Spanish. So you're somebody asked about James Earl Jones. Have you ever considered going that deep?
It would have to be early in the morning, and it would have to be like after a night of drinking. People will come, Ray. People will come. Most definitely come. I can't. My buddy David Andrew Brent. Everybody with 3 names that I know is ridiculously talented. Alex Walker Smith, amazing voice actor and composer. Josh Robert Thompson, amazing actor and voice actor. David Andrew Brent, who also does a great Arnold. And but he does a really good James Earl Jones. But I can't go that deep. Like I said, early in the morning after a hangover, I could probably come close, but not.
Sleep deprived.
You get that morning voice. It's like that Sam Elliott morning voice. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Have you? So going back to like the celebrity thing, we know. Okay, so you got to do it in front of Ryan Reynolds. Awesome.
Yeah.
And you've got to have a little bit of interaction, with Christopher Lloyd and others.
Yep.
Are you aware of your content being seen by those people? Like getting back to like a Jason Statham or an Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I know Arnold definitely has heard just because I've worked on so many projects where he had to kind of sign up. Like, all right, so I was, I gotta be careful what I say. Any legalities? No, I can talk about this. What a douchey thing I just did that live. I wonder if I could talk about it.
I can sign an NDA if that's what you need.
I hate NDAs because it's like, I mean, I can keep a good secret, and I'm keeping plenty of secrets right now. But like with CBS, producers from CBS called me up. They knew I could do a lot of voices and a lot of impressions and stuff like that. And they know I could do regular voice stuff. And they were like, we have this idea. We want for Otev. I was the voice of Otev on this season of Big Brother. And it was this Jack jellyfish. And they were like, we maybe a surfer dude or maybe like an Arnold bodybuilder. So for them to contact Arnold's and his legal team, I did it. I mean, they started just like this, right? It was not over the top. It was very, very like this. And then this other guy was like this. So they 2 versions. And then Arnold's legal team and him signed off. And they were like, Joe can do the straight on exact voice double of this, but he can't use any catchphrases. So I was like, all right. So we heard it. He gave his blessing, but they can say, I'll be back. Or hasta la vista, stick around.
Yeah.
Or rubber baby buggy bumpers. He can just say that. Like, so I could do all this. So that was cool. So like he's heard me. I've been in part of like movie pitches where and that's another thing people do and they don't know. Sometimes producers come to me and they want to pitch a movie to a certain actor. And what they do, they take clips from all their movies and edit them into a new trailer into what like their idea of the movie could be. And I'll double the voice in that to try to help sell, and that's another way that my voice is utilized in that stuff. And that stuff nobody ever hears. And I'm like, I'm okay. Still get paid. I'm okay. Still can pay some bill. You know what I mean?
Check clears either way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's a weird thing, but I don't know who else has heard me. I think Tom Kenny might have heard the voice of SpongeBob because I voice doubled him as SpongeBob in a video game that I don't think ever got released because of COVID. But it was one of those things. You guys like, oh, I still got paid. But it's not about the money. It's like you get excited for those things. So you're like, people are going to hear me as this. This would be awesome.
Yeah, of course. Of course. So I know you did Death Battle 2014 where you voiced the Terminator. So that was...
Somebody actually brought that up and they sent me the clip like probably a week or 2 ago. And I went, oh my God, this was horrible. Like, cause you at the time when you're hired, that's the best they could find, I guess, and I'm listening to it. And I go, oh my God, what a piece of crap that was. I am the Terminator. Look at me. I'm going, I just wanted to punch myself in the face. I wanted to go back in time and punch myself. Who sent you? I did from 2022, you bastard. You're terrible. You ever hear of practice? It's like, oh God, I hated myself.
That's awesome. So another, and this can be kind of a questionable because you use a lot of the deep fake technology, right? To do because you want to match the look to the voice. And
right.
I don't know which software you use or whatever, but it's pretty good. It's pretty damn good.
And I think the way we can get away with that, because there's watermarks on those videos that we use. It was a company called Impressions, and now they're no longer anymore, and I don't know the reason. But with the hyper realistic deep fakes, which I'm hesitant to talk about because there's a lot of stuff going on with those right now. Definitely legal reasons, but nothing that I'm not involved in it. But I just don't want to open up a can of worms for other people. That there's some things in the works right now, and people should be really excited about it. Yeah, the whole morality of deep fakes and IPs and stuff like that, it's very not sketchy right now, but a lot of celebrities and a lot of companies are doing the right thing by getting on board with these things and using them for entertainment purposes and because it's uncharted territory right now. So like but the thing with deepfakes are nothing unless you can have actors like me and people like me who can perform with these things, because you've seen deepfakes before and the voices are just absolutely atrocious. Sure. And the quality isn't even that good, but the way it's coming out now, I really believe that people like me and other people, they're going to have deepfake actors, just like you have motion capture actors, like Andy Serkis with Gollum and with Planet of the Apes and all those things. Like, you're going to have people who are going to take over as legacy characters. Maybe a character passes away or they get too old or they want to de-age them and their voice isn't what they used to be. The synthetic voiceover, the synthetic voices, it's all AI. It's just not there. The technology is not going to be there for a long time. People think, we can, because people took some of the characters I voice, and there's a website you can go to, you type in anything you want, and it reads that as the character. Right. But it was like Mr. Hippo sounded like this, and it is all over the place. Like, it sounds like the character kind of, but it's just not fluid. So with the whole voiceover thing, there's years and years before it's going to take away anybody's job like that. But but the deepfake is getting scary. Yeah, scary. I mean, the Tom Cruise one is very popular, and and watching your videos, like you can still clearly tell it's you, but the way it changes the jawline or the way it changes the hair, it gives it just enough of that imagination. So your imagination doesn't have to work as hard, because you see that person, right? But it is, like you said, it's a almost a moral gray area. It's a legal gray area of like, it's all fun and games. What happens if somebody tries to, utilize it for exactly. And I'm glad I never. I mean, I could have if I wanted, but it's like I wouldn't want to screw over somebody or get somebody else in trouble or get myself into trouble. It's like, what I do is for entertainment. I would never use it for that purpose, but like, on the horizon, the tech. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to where this kind of thing is going to take a lot of people. And I think you hit the nail on the head too, because nailing the voice, right? That's most crucial, because that is the trademark of certain actors. But as I'm watching your videos, and I'm like, what is it about it that the voice is perfect, but it's the mannerisms. It's the whole physics. Yeah, you're curling of the lips and the wrinkling of the eyes, and you become that character, and it's incredible to watch. That's where the deepfake helps. Like when I would use that app and I was working on whatever voice it was, like I was working on Michael Keaton for a while, and if I could see his face on mine, I could. Here's the deal. I could sort of see it. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go. And if you can see that whole thing on you, it helps with the voice. Christian Bale is sort of like this. Hi there, Bruce Wayne. And you see the way he smiles. I'm Batman. And there was a lot of that. And I saw a lot of similarities between that and Christian Bale and Michael Keaton. And I was like, they both were Batman and they both have very similar. So I would learn all that, and seeing their face on your face, it really helps you develop that character. And it also helps with the voice too, because like if you do what that other person did, it's just gonna come easier for you, because you're moving the way they did. So obviously that's how they got the voice out of themselves. So maybe I can copy that and try to figure it all out. Like, you're constantly reverse engineering things to try to like get it to the point where you want it to be believable. Very cool. Damn, it's so good.
So good. One of our we got a psyop guy, you know, psychological warfare, and they're like, man, there's some cool application we could be doing with, you know, the psychological war, messing with. Imagine you're just dropping videos into hostile territories of celebrities, like you need to give up, you need to surrender your weapons, and like it's like, holy shit, they brought in the Terminator.
That would be a lot of fun.
That's it. The military's gonna be calling soon.
The military. This is World War III, right? The machines have won. Skynet has become self-aware. That would be really funny to screw with them.
Yes, this is. Oh my god! Somebody said this sounds like a serious acid trip. Yeah, you're right. It's a good time. Okay, oh my god, we're getting close to time, and there's so much I want to ask you. You recently built the in-home studio.
I did.
I'm curious. What was that experience like? What'd you learn from building out at your own studio?
Yeah, don't build it during COVID when the lumber prices are ridiculous. Holy shit. It was like a 3-year I remember we bought this house in 2016 and we renovated a lot of it. And then we were like, all right, and it was like not a weird house setup, but like there were 2 driveways. There was a 1-car garage on the left that was connected to the house through a breezeway. And then there was a 3-car garage on the other driveway. And I'm like, we don't even have 4 cars. Like, we got 1 car. We're sharing a car. Now I have my own. She has her own. I'm like, we're not going to use this. Let's convert this into a studio. So we started to just like, all right, let's get the permits. Let's first get the permits. So we got the permits. Let's close off the garage door and we'll get the permit for that. Put a window in, cool. And then slowly through COVID, we just started getting the drywall, getting the lumber. Then the lumber came way down. Okay, let's get more lumber. Let's subfloor. And it was just constantly just DIY the whole thing. All my soundproof insulation came out of a Abercrombie and Fitch that was renovating. So like I went on like Facebook Marketplace, $200, take as much as you want. So I got a trailer, my pickup truck, and just putting everything in it. And then it smelled like, because when I walked in the store, I was like, did this used to be Abercrombie and Fitch? He's like, how'd you know? Because it just stunk of the douchebag cologne. You know what I'm talking about. You were saying I could smell it down the hall. And so we get there and they like take as much as you want because like, you know, they blast that music at those stores and they don't want it to bleed into the mall. So it was perfect insulation. So we did that. And I had a buddy who helped me. So we were doing drywall, double wall construction. It was a long process. And then we finally got it done. Now I can just like have my own space. It's like, I'm getting so much more work done than I ever have because now it's me. Nobody's bothering me. I can work. I can get it done. And then at nighttime, I close up the studio and then I just go to bed. It's you know, it's my own space and I'm so happy and I'm so proud we got this done.
You ever gonna hire any employee? You got to get like the sound mixer guy and the. No,
man, I do everything myself. Screw everybody else. No, but like with my technology, like I can edit all myself. But like a lot of my jobs, I'll patch in. Like I did 3 ESPN commercials today, so I patched in to my audio engineer, and you know who was in. I think he was in LA. Yeah, it was 3 hours behind, and I just talked into my mic. He did all the work, and that was it. So it was like. It's good to know the stuff because you have to know your equipment, but it's so much easier when you can just talk in. I could just talk into the mic. I don't have to like, hold on, guys, take 2. Let me slate. Like, oh God, I just want to get the job done. You know.
Oh, that's it. God bless modern technology. I mean, we're having this conversation, you know, for an audience, and
exactly,
it's such a great thing. Okay, so we're getting close to the end, so I'm gonna do a bunch of rapid fire questions, just things that I put together. Sure. So I've seen that you're a big collector too. You've got a lot of Back to the Future stuff and things. Yep. What are your prized possession? What's your favorite thing you have?
Probably my hoverboard. Yeah, my Mattel hoverboard from Part 2. I've always wanted it ever since I was a kid, and that was like the first thing I bought when I signed on to like my second cartoon. So with my sign-on bonus, boom, let's go buy an exact replica hoverboard. So that's like my favorite.
If they made a working version, what's your top price? What would you pay for that? What's the top you would pay for a working, fully working hoverboard? Doesn't go over water though.
Maybe 5,000, maybe. Yeah. Because anything other than that, it's like just stop. What are you doing?
I agree. I think
$5,000 is a lot of friggin' money. I mean,
it's fair. It's fair. You know, I mean, you're flying though.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
3 inches off the ground, but still, hey, what it is.
It's high enough.
And you can't go over water, but other than that, you're fine.
That's right.
Have you ever thought of doing like podcasting? I mean, obviously you have a voice and doing anything like that.
I've like dabbled in it. Like I wanted to do like a drunk voiceover podcast, like just like once a week, just get drunk and just do. But it's just like I don't know. I've dabbled with it, but I'm like I don't know. I don't know if I have the strength or the stamina. I like being guest. I don't have to do anything. I just talk. You can do everything.
Yeah, I'll do all the work. Hey, if you ever need a place, we'll have you here at the WCF Nation Radio, man.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it.
We'll give you even if you want to do like a 30-minute spot every once a month. We got
all right.
We got a spot for you.
I'll let you know.
What off the top of your head, best tips and tricks if you're trying to be a voice actor? What's
Well, I mean, it's a good website. I want to be a voiceactor.com. D. Bradley Baker put that one together, which is great. A lot of information, but take acting classes, get a home studio, nothing crazy like I have. You could just like a blanket fort in your little closet is perfect as long as it sounds good. But you want to learn how to market yourself. You want to put yourself out there and you want to like, you want to be able to like get clients on your own. Agents are amazing. I have 6. I rarely book anything through my agents. Rarely. And it's like probably 99.999% of my income. And it's a great living on my own marketing, cold calls, pick up the phone, introduce yourself, get creative, you want to build relationships and don't be afraid to just put yourself out there because it's a numbers game. It doesn't matter how talented you are, how untalented you are. Hustle is going to beat talent any day of the week, So it's just a numbers game. Just have fun with it. And it gets addicting like scratch tickets in the lottery, except it doesn't cost money to do this stuff. And you're not just like a degenerate gambler. I almost won. I won $500. Look at this. Yeah, but you spent $30,000, you dick. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna clip that section because I feel like it applies. That those are just life lessons. Like just work hard. It's all about the drive. It's about the hustle. And I'm gonna clip that. I'm just gonna play that for myself over whenever I'm like, man, I didn't get as many views as I wanted. Just start playing that clip. You just gotta get out there, hustle,
numbers
do it.
Game, babe. Numbers game.
What is your absolute favorite voice to do? Not necessarily the one that people love, but just the one you have the most fun with.
It's like honestly, it's probably Arnold or my own because like I don't have to think in my own. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't put any stress on my voice. But Arnold, you can just do anything with because he was always that hero growing up. Going, man, that dude's awesome. And now that I can do his voice, it was just like it feels cool. It's just a lot of fun. It's always a go-to.
Awesome. What is the hardest voice to do? Whether it's more strain or just wears you out or
Michael Rooker. I had to do something for Michael. Michael Rooker has sort of like I'm Yondu. It sounds like this. You're putting so much strain on your voice like that. I'm here, little brother. And if you do it for too long, you're not talking for like a day. It's like, so you have to make sure you use your diaphragm. But if anything hurts, I generally don't do it. It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it.
What if you could be a voice on any project? What would be the thing you would love to do?
I want to star in a Pixar movie. Like I don't want to be additional. I don't want to be like you see the credits. Additional voices, Joe Gaudet. I want my name. Boom. Like I want to star in a Pixar movie.
You want a first and a last name.
That's it.
In a Pixar movie.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the end goal. I'm so like dead set on it because then like when I die, my kids are just that'll be forever. That'll be forever.
Absolutely. You're going to get there. I have no doubts. And you did do some Pixar work in the past, right? You did like a voice.
It was so one-off. I voice doubled for Larry, the cable guy for Cars 3, some promos, and it was just Mater stuff for like all their digital stuff. It wasn't even all their digital stuff. It was just like a handful of stuff, but it was still so cool. It's really cool to see those scripts and McQueen and Sally part beneath the drink, like kind of doing stuff like that. I was like, yeah, man. Heck yeah, I got a little piece of Pixar.
You got a taste of it. You got a taste of it.
Yeah.
You got to get the full meal. You have all the social medias. You have the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok. I noticed that, there's not a lot of repetitive, obviously certain videos kind of you see them everywhere. Yeah. How do you decide what content goes where?
I don't know. I think, because I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn too, but that's like more professional. It's like, all right, LinkedIn's got to be more professional. TikTok, I don't give up. Like what I put on TikTok, I'm not going to, I'm not getting naked or anything like that. but it's because like my audience is, you know, as young as like 10, 8, 10, all the way up to like 80-year-olds. So it's like I have a wide audience. So it is tricky because like if I swear in a couple videos, Mr. Hippo from Five Nights at Freddy's swore. Listen, I'm 38. Mr. Hippo is a fictional fucking character. I'm not, you know, he's not gonna. I didn't swear. I mean, I swore, not the character. So like, it's one of those things. But like, I just go, okay, I know what content's gonna hit on Twitter. It's the Five Nights at Freddy's because that's most of the people on Twitter who follow me. TikTok is going to be the Arnold, the impressions, the voiceover related stuff. Instagram, more family stuff. More stuff. I mean, I'll post stuff or, you know, sometimes the brand deals I got to post on TikTok and Instagram, but that's like mostly like my Facebook, you know what I mean? Cause I haven't been on Facebook. Like my business page is on Facebook, but I haven't like used Facebook to like complain about politics and my family. You know, I haven't done that. But like it all depends. You know, Instagram is like more personal stuff. I'll post and stuff, but I'll post anything anywhere. I don't really like think about it too much. But now that you said that, I kind of do think about it too much. Like,
it's like a general guideline, like swim lanes, so to speak. And real quick before we lose you,
sure.
I you know, I did see a post. You do have a twin brother. You went through something a little bit difficult. Are you okay to share about that and talk about that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. He was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is, you know, brain cancer, which is like, you know, it's a really tough one. And he was diagnosed with that August 2020. So right now he's in hospice care, and it's tough on the like I've been visiting him every week, and just to see you every time I go back, it's just like, it's like he's getting worse and worse. Now he's just in hospice care in his house, and like, you know, I can stay strong, and then you lose it when you're driving home, and I'm like, I can't imagine what his wife and kids are going through because they're there. Like they're in the war right now, and they're doing everything to help him, and I'm there feeling useless, trying to help out, and I do help out, but it's just like I cannot imagine what his wife and daughters are going through right now. It's rough, man. It's rough.
Yeah, and I know there's a GoFundMe to help with the expenses and things like that, and so what I'm going to make sure I'm going to post the link to that so that people.
I appreciate that, brother. That means a lot. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so
much. You obviously bring so much laughter and love and joy to so many people. I think it's been great to see. I've seen from the outside, seen that there's been such an outpouring of love and support for someone who's not on camera. So, you know, that's just
it's meant a lot. And it's like definitely laughter is like, even when I go to visit him, like, we're busting balls, we're cracking jokes and stuff like that. Even through, you know, it's tough stuff. Obviously, I won't talk about on here, but like, this is really tough stuff he's going through, and he's just very like open about people helping him at this point. And it's just going. I mean, I've had to do stuff I won't even do to myself. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to help him out, and you got to laugh through it. You know, we're helping him out. My dad's asleep on the couch, and like, hey, Dad, you gonna get what? You know, because he's exhausted too. And like, yeah, don't get up. I'm like making fun of my dad, going, I stopped doing that. You know, I stopped doing that 30 years ago. My brother's sitting there, what, caring? So he's like, oh, it's just so funny. Like, you know, it's you gotta laugh about it. You gotta find stuff to laugh about, because it's like, if you don't, you're just gonna sit there and cry, and you're not gonna get anything done. You know, there's plenty of time for crying. You know, so it's. Yeah. You just gotta laugh about it, because it's life. It's gonna happen. We're all gonna go sometime, but you know, right now it's tough to have him just, you know, fade away.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so sorry that you know, man, for him but wishing you and him and the family all the best. And like I said, we'll post the link to the GoFundMe, and I know I want to help out and however I can. And it's an amazing cause, and you know, people are putting up prayers for you in the chat.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
But yeah, so we'll definitely share that. But where can I mean, we've talked about it at nauseam, but where can people find you? Where can people support you? Where can people
just Instagram, TikTok, Twitter is at I am Joe Gaudet. My website, if you need a professional voice actor with an amazing fucking studio and does everything, and you know, I've done literally thousands of jobs in my career, and from cartoons to explainer videos, corporate narration, commercials, everything. If you need a voice actor, reach out to me, joegaudet.vo.com. And yeah, just Google me. Just don't look at the news reports. There was a weird arrest. You know, legally, I'm supposed to tell you guys I'm not supposed to be near your kids. No, not at all. Not just that's going to be the headline.
Yes.
Local voice actor pedophile Joe Gaudet was seen on the podcast.
When I put the GIF, it's going to be you behind bars and wearing a little pedo mask. And
it's like this and then the bars.
Exactly.
Oh, that's going to be a great one.
Joe, this has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you
this has
so
been a lot
much.
of fun. I appreciate you having me, and thank you for your service and all the military, whatever branch of the service you're in, except the Marines. We don't need the Marines. I'm just kidding. No, everybody. I want to thank everybody for your service because you being able to serve your country is allowing me to sit home on my ass and do this. So thank you. And no, I really appreciate this, bro. This has been awesome.
Absolutely. And you are now forever a friend of the show. Anytime you want to, if you get the big Pixar movie, man, you got to promise me you're going to come back.
I'm making a promise right now. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to get all the deets. I'll give you the last 10 seconds here to say goodbye to the audience, and then we're going to toss it to a break.
All right, everybody. Listen, thank you so much. Thanks for watching. And it has been fantastic, right? And if you need any help with anything, don't worry. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby.
There you go, guys. We'll be right back after this. Thank you, Joe Gaudet.
Thank you.